Now, this is the second generation of the Honda Brio. The first generation was more of a Honda's fun attempt of making a mini compact car. That's why when you look at this compared to the previous one, this has a mature and a more edgy look. So let's see if Honda's new attempt on the Honda Brio pays off. If you look at it closely, it carries the front grille very similar to its older brothers in the Honda lineup, which is a plus for me. And when you compare it now, especially when you look at the side profile, you can see that they really improved the drag coefficient, which makes it a lot better for highway driving. This Brio is the V trim. It's above the S, which is manual, and it's below the RS, which comes in like a two-tone and a special color. But what makes it special is that we think that this is the bang for buck model of the Brio. It comes with 14-inch alloy wheels, which it may be a standard in its class, but if you get the RS, you actually get 15-inch wheels. And for a mid-trim, it's nice to see an additional set of fog lamps, which gives it this more premium look. If you're getting the V variant, we suggest to get it in Carnival Yellow because it's very similar to the yellow used by the Spoon Civics. This Honda Brio is now powered by a 1.2-liter single overhead camshaft gasoline engine, which gives out 91 horsepower and 81 pound-feet of torque. And for your Newton meter guys out there, that's 110 Newton meters. So the big question is, why use a single overhead camshaft? Well, for a car like this, it's actually very ideal because when you use single overhead camshaft, you're actually able to have a smaller, lighter engine. And when you consider that single overhead camshafts perform better at the low-end power, it makes it ideal for a city car such as this. One thing I have to commend about Honda is that even in their smallest car, they didn't skip on the design. You can see, like, with this nicely designed aircon vents, with the polished looking infotainment panel over here, with manual control but digital display, simple but elegant display of the instrument clusters over here, even the steering wheel. You can tell that Honda made sure that this was a well-designed car inside and out. Honda's approach was very holistic, where they wanted to make the owner have a sense of pride in what they get, even at their smallest cars. A lot of people really take a look at the infotainment system, and I think Honda has one of the best out there as a whole, but even more so in this class. It's a 7-inch capacitive touchscreen display, and it's very responsive. But not only that, like the menu's easy to read, the design's clean, just like the interior, you know, and like it's easy to understand. Honda's like, okay, let's make sure that what we're putting in the car is something that the owner will have a good experience in. But you know, one of my favorite buttons here is probably the Max Cool. So in a hot day like this, you know, you enter the car, all you have to do is press this Max Cool, and you can hear it. The aircon's on full blast. And this lasts to around 10 to 15 minutes, and then it'll go back to the previous setting. So this allows the car, without you like having to press buttons while driving, to stabilize the interior temperatures. So one of the most important design keys of this car is where the A-pillar is at in correspondence to the front wheel. If you notice most other cars, the distance between the front wheel and the A-pillar, there's usually a big gap. This allows for more engine space or for a more sporty design. But Honda, for this one, they were able to put the A-pillar and the front wheel close enough without hurting so much the design cue of what they're trying to achieve with the Brio. But at the same time, they're able to maximize the interior space while keeping a certain overall length. So a month ago, we drove this car with Honda Cars Philippines, and we brought it from Metro Manila to La Union, to Baguio, to Clark, and then back to Metro Manila. And you know, the roads there were so many varying roads. We had provincial roads, we had highways, we had twisties, we had uphills, downhills. And we got to see that as a platform, the Brio is a very capable car. Its suspension works well with the car. Its brakes are very strong. The steering is very intuitive. It's still a very practical car, and yet Honda is able to inject a good amount of fun in it. And more than that, like, especially considering the interior that this comes with, the user experience inside and out is just fantastic. Usually cars like these will struggle on the highway, but for the Honda Brio, no, it's you can feel that there's enough, it's planted well on the highway, delivers enough speed, and then if I have to overtake something, it's not difficult for this car. Like, it does have pull. In the mini compact class, there's a lot of things that there's a lot of compromises that have to be done. But with a car like this, it's minimized by a lot. The all-new Honda Brio is very reminiscent of the first-gen Jazz, wherein it was the perfect yuppie car. It has a good amount of passenger space, has a good amount of cargo space, and has a good amount of power to make it a fantastic city car to drive. So, now that the Brio is the new smallest car of Honda, the Jazz has passed down the torch to the Brio. So the big question is, how does this stack up? Well, Honda has a lot of fantastic cars in its lineup, so it is just a matter of seeing what you need to get. But when you compare this among its competitors, this one offers a lot more at a very similar price. And the best part of it is, Honda really made sure that this is a fun car to own. So if you're looking for something that is practical and yet is fun to own and drive, the Honda Brio might be your top pick.